Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. By show of hand, I want someone to confirm that you are able to hear me before we start off our session for this particular engagement. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Before I go any further, I want to, first of all, we get a volunteer to give us an opening prayer, and then we go straight into our session. Any volunteer to give us an opening prayer? You just unmute yourself and give us the prayer. Okay. Peace is carrying up the hand. Just lower the... Okay. Unmute yourself, Peace. I see your hand is up. Give us an opening prayer. Okay, Christ.
Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I want to thank you for everything. I want to thank you for blessing us with this day, Lord. I want to thank you for the gift of life you have given us, Lord. Now, as we are going for this lesson, I want you to come and guide us in everything we are going to do, Father. Enable us to understand everything. Teacher is going to teach us, Lord. Bless us, Lord. Everything which comes with confusion, every time, it's in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, Father. I pray this believing in your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. I think who gave us the prayer? Peace. Thank you so much.
It's okay.
Once again, I welcome everyone to this afternoon session of our entrepreneurship lesson, being our lesson 2 of this short holiday that we are having. As usual, our session is going to be interactive, so don't go mute. We should keep on interacting here and there so that we make learning more engaging. I'm just there as a moderator for today. I know you know much, and if we can really bring it on table and share together, you'll again continue to learn more and more, and that's how you get to really process and understand the content. We are still on our Form 2 topic of Term 1, and that is forms of legal business ownership. The other time we looked at the different forms of business ownership, and we even we made a distinction between what businesses in Uganda or different types of businesses means and what business ownership also means. I remember to have told you that we have the different types of businesses in Uganda here. We have the agribusiness, or even worldwide agribusiness, manufacturing businesses. That we have the service business and trading business. Those 4 major ones. Though we also have the electronic being the modern addition, the recent addition. We put a distinction from those different types of businesses and business ownership. That you can own a trading business. We all know that examples of a trading business could be a wholesale shop. You could be owning a wholesale shop. But what form of ownership do you possess? Are you owning it alone? Do you own it as a group? And if it's a group, which kind of group? Are you very many? How did you register? Which certificate was granted to you? All those modalities, we have to look at them. And that's what we are going to focus on in this topic of legal forms of business ownership. So I want us to make a reflection on our previous lesson by someone just simply carrying up the hand, and you tell me what business ownership means, and another one can briefly give us the different forms of legal ownership, ways in which entrepreneurs can own businesses. Merely by show of hand, and we quickly go through. You just unmute yourself, tell us the name, and give us the answer. I'm seeing Ira, your hand is up, okay?
Business ownership is the right of legally owning a business of your own, and different forms of business ownership are sole proprietorship business, partnership business, limited companies, and cooperative companies.
Okay, thank you so much, Ira. Just a point of correction, we have cooperative societies, not companies. Thank you so much. I see, Paul, your hand is up. Can you briefly tell us any that they have left out, and probably you define for us what sole proprietorship is all about? Paul? Okay, Paul. Okay, your hand was up, but then, okay, Ampere? Nancy is also carrying up the hand, but is not talking. Okay.
Yes. Good afternoon, teacher.
Okay, good afternoon too.
Sole proprietorship, also sole trade business. This is the form of business organization which is initiated or carried out, which is initiated, financed, managed, and controlled by one person. And
Very
the
good.
examples. Can
Yes,
I give
go
the
ahead.
example?
Please
The
go ahead.
examples, we have kiosks, hawking, grocery selling, roadside selling, shops, bakeries, and printeries.
Very good. Thank you. I'm seeing who else. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Ira, I see your hand is still up. Do you have something to say? Because we are discussing what we particularly looked at in the previous lesson before we jump into what we are going to look at today.
Sole proprietorship is a form of business owned by one person who contributes capital towards the business and undertakes all responsibilities and risks in a business.
Okay, thank you so much.
A sole proprietor is a person who carries a sole proprietorship business and usually does all the business activities by himself and sometimes assisted by the family members.
Very good. You have perfectly remembered the things we looked at. So business ownership simply refers to a legal right to own a business. Remember, if you operate a business when you are not legally confirmed, then you are most likely to be interfered with the government authorities, and you may not be able to run it perfectly. So owning it legally is very, very important. And that's what we are trying to look at, the business ownership. So we looked at the different types of business ownership as you have clearly stated them before. The sole proprietorship, where you have perfectly, Nance and Ira perfectly defined. We said the word sole means only or one, and proprietorship means business or entrepreneurship, whichever the case. So owning a business alone is what we call sole proprietorship. By the fact that we have said owning a business alone, it means you can own a business beyond one person. And this means we can own two, we can own three, we can own etc. That takes us to our subtopic today of partnership business. So having left the issue of sole proprietorship, where you engage in the business alone, we looked at the different characteristics. We say the business is owned by one person, capital is contributed by one person, there is unlimited liability, decision-making is taken by one person, etc. We saw its advantages, we proceeded and saw the disadvantages associated with owning a business alone. And now, having had all that, I remember to have left an exercise behind. Hope you tried it out. And at a later time, you will share your work, possibly either in the WhatsApp group or even the chat room here, so that we go through. Now let us head on to partnership business. Having left owning the business alone, we are now entering into partnership. We have all ever heard of the word partner. Can a volunteer please come out to explain to us what a partnership business may mean in this case? Just in your own understanding, we are just sharing, so don't worry of your answer. In fact, the more you practice, the more you become perfect. Any volunteer? Israel. Israel, unmute yourself. Okay. Israel's hand is up. Immediately I mention your name, please. You don't need to take a lot of time, just unmute.
I think a partnership business is a business sold with another partner.
Come again?
I think a partnership business is a business sold with a partner.
Oh, we are not getting you clearly. Thank you for your trial. Thank you, but you were not so clear in your network. Let me have Abigail. Immediately I mention your name, please, you unmute yourself. Okay, Aura, is it Ahura? Ahura, please. Okay.
I think a partnership business is like a business that is owned by two people or more, like in a partnership way, working together.
Very good. Thank you for your submission. I've liked the new term you have introduced, working together. So the word partner or partnership involves working together. Thank you. And you can't work together when you are alone. There must be another person whom you are going to engage in when you are doing that kind of work. Okay. Now let us have Joseph. Okay. Joseph, go ahead.
I think a partnership business is a type of business where two or more people share ownership.
Excellent. A business where two or more people share ownership. Very good. So you have also introduced in another issue of two or more people sharing ownership, having a common thing on which they come together to execute. Good. Now I want any other volunteer to add on those words to tell us what else two or more people have come together. What then follows? Let me check on who else has not said anything here. Melissa? Melissa, if you're not ready, then I go to Petty. Okay.
A partnership business is a legal arrangement that allows two or more people to share responsibility for a business.
Very good. Two or more people share responsibility of a business. Good. I've liked all your ideas. They're just excellent. Okay, now let us have who has not said Christ. Crystal. Okay. Okay. I think these people are delaying to unmute themselves. Okay, thank you.
Partnership business is a form of business owned by more than one person to contribute capital towards the business to undertake all the responsibilities and risks in that business.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Has introduced in another element of capital. Two or more people contribute capital to take on responsibilities of a business while standing or exposing themselves to risks. I'm just picking your own words to form this definition. Thank you so much. You are on point. You all have a correct view of what a partnership business is all about. Hope the lesson will move on well. The fact that I'm now discussing with the people who already know something. Are you able to see this screen? And if it doesn't need any more zooming, then I want to get someone to read through the definition that I've chosen to give you this afternoon. Though we have different ways of defining a partnership business, just as some of you correctly gave us the definitions of what a partnership business is all about. If you are good at reading, please, you carry up the hand and go through this work. Jordan, I've chosen Jordan.
Yeah. The meaning of partnership business. This is a business owned by two or more people who come together and contribute capital to run a business with an aim of making profit. Then the other one is each member who contributes capital is called a partner. The number of people allowed by those to form a partnership is between 2 to 20 people, but for a personal partnership like law firms, the maximum is 50 members. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jordan. Though you are, I think it's the issue of network, you're a bit down, and I don't think some members have heard you, but thank you so much, Jordan. Someone with clear network here. Who else?
Teacher, could I read?
Okay, go ahead.
This is a business owned by two or more people who come together and contribute capital to run a business with an aim of making profits. Each member who contributes capital is called a partner. The number of people allowed by law to form a partnership is between 2 to 20 people, but for professional partnerships like law firms and bankers, the maximum is 50 members.
Thank you so much, Israel. So this is what I had prepared, and it's like some people had already cheated what was on. You all gave perfect meanings of what a partnership business is all about. You all agree that whenever you hear about the word partner, then there must be two or more. Partners must be between two, and like we have said, for the sake of business, 2 to 20. But for professional ones, as we shall look through, they can go up to 50 members. So the key terms here in the definition is that it's a business owned by two or more people. Another key term is that they come together and then you contribute capital. You run a business with an aim of making profits, because we all know that the ultimate end of a business is generating profits. Every business that is opened up aims at one thing, generating profits. It is just an unfortunate part of it that brings in the losses. Just as we looked at what risks were all about in a business. A risk may befall your business and you end up making losses. However, our ultimate end of farming a business is to make profits. So two or more people who come together and contribute capital to run a business with an aim of making profits. You can be even partners in other forms. If in a class you sit in a circular conveyor, or let me say in a conveyor belt, sort of that. I know in your classes you around groups of 10 people or 7 people, 5, whichever. Just as you sit in that group, you are partners, though you are not partners of business. In this case, you are now partners of academics. So we can be partners in different formats. However, for us, we are focusing our partnership in form of business. So whenever there is partnership for a business, then there must be an issue of capital, because you can't start a business unless you have capital. So that's why we're introducing in the word contributing capital. They come together, they contribute capital, and then they have to run that business, but with an aim of making profits. And then who are these people that contribute capital? Because we have to now use a business language. We are saying the people who come together to contribute capital are called partners. So each member who contributes capital is called a partner. So people who own partnership businesses are called partners. And we have different types of partners, different forms of partners. Like I'm going to state about a few one that we have. There's what they call the active partner. Active partner is one who contributes capital but engages in the day-to-day running of the business. Take an example. You and I have formed a school. Let's say we are 2. We have formed a school. And then take an example, me, I'm a soldier, and maybe for you a teacher. It so happens that we agree for you go and sit at the school as a head teacher, be there 24/7, or be there as a director 24/7. Me, I am going back to the camp. I have no time to engage in this business, though I have contributed capital. So this one I have left at school to run it every day is called an active partner. Then me, who has contributed capital, but I'm never at the business, I am called a dormant partner. So the opposite of active is dormant. The only difference between the two is that one is ever at the business and the other is not at the business, but remains the owner also, part of the owner of the business. Plus very many others. We have partners, the ones we call Quansi partners. Quansi partners, that is QUA. SI. The Quansi partners allow their name to be used in the business, though they did not contribute capital. There are people who are so famous in society that you would wish to use his or her name because people will pay much attention to it and come to your business to buy. Take an example. Let me pick one of the name here. If today I'm using whose name? Let me use Amos. If today you opened up a hardware called Amos Hardware Enterprise, Amos Hardware Enterprise, and another person, let me pick another name here, I'm seeing Israel, and then you also get to have another hardware called Israel Hardware. I'm so sure that the word Israel and the word Amos, Israel is likely to attract more customers compared to Amos, because people will attach a sense of thinking that Israel could be a foreign company, and therefore it is producing or it is providing quality products. So someone who allows his or her name to be used in the business just because it's well known, but that did not contribute capital, then that person is called a Quansi partner. Someone can, I've seen restaurants where people say, okay, let me not quote names of some individuals, but they get those famous politicians and then they use them in their businesses just to attract people, to make people think that those politicians are part of the owners of these businesses. So those are called Quansi partners, plus very many different types of partners. We have the ones they call partners by S.2. When you talk of a partner by S.2, we mean these are partners who, by the way they conduct themselves, make people to believe that they are part of the business. There are people who will come at your business sit there from morning up to evening. They are just there outside. They have nothing to do. Every person that comes, they are there to welcome. In fact, when you are new, you will think that is the owner of that particular business. You come to realize at a later time that this is just a redundant person who has nothing to do, and every time is just at someone else's business. So such a person is called a partner by S.2. There are different forms, we can't mention them and exhaust. Now, our area of interest now is knowing what is the approved number for partnerships in case you are going to engage in it. Remember, partnerships are registered, and the body responsible for registering partnerships here in Uganda is Uganda Registration Services Bureau. The one you call the URSB is responsible for registering all businesses here in Uganda for purposes of tax assessment. Now, the number of people allowed by law to form a partnership is between 2 to 20. That is in the case of ordinary partnerships. Let's say you're entering into a partnership to run a simple shop, a partnership to open up a restaurant somewhere. Those are ordinary businesses. But we are saying for the case of professional partnerships which has professionals, in this case, lawyers, we have the accountants. When those people are coming together, let's say lawyers are coming together to come up with a law firm, then the maximum number will be 50. And a minimum, of course, we have clearly stated it that from minimum is 2. For ordinary ones, small businesses, it's 20. For professional ones, people who are going to provide professional services that are very, very sensitive in the society, they can go up to 50. Accountants, if they want to form a bank, not particularly accountants, it could be you have your money, you're an entrepreneur, you want to engage in the forming of a microfinance institution. The law allows you to go up to 50 members when you are forming such. So that's what we mean when we talk about partnership business, that 2 or more people come together, they contribute capital, they run a business with an aim of making profits. And we are saying these people who engage in a partnership are called partners. And we are saying for ordinary businesses like restaurants and etc., the minimum is 2 and the maximum number allowed is 20. But for professional partnerships, people who are going to provide professional services, you want to form a hospital, doctors, or any other person, you want to open up, then if it's a partnership, you are allowed to go up to 50 members because it is a professional partnership. Let us proceed and go to, unless if there's a question, we proceed and go to types of partnerships. I want still a volunteer to come up and read through that. Any volunteer? Offset, someone is calling, okay. Rahima?
Types of partnerships. A partnership can either be permanent or temporary. These are the major 2 categories of partnerships. A permanent partnership is a partnership formed to carry out business indefinitely with no time limit. The time of winding up a business is not disclosed at the time of starting the business. A temporary partnership is a partnership formed to operate for a specified period of time. This form of partnership can also end on completion of the contract. I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tia, can you please scroll down?
No. Okay, network. Okay. Hope you are able to. We're talking at types of partnerships. You clearly went through. We have said a partnership can either be permanent or temporary. Now, having understood what partnerships mean, we are saying what are the different types of partnerships? Basically, there are two, as our friend has gone through. The partnership can either be permanent. Permanent meaning we don't know the time at which it will be dissolved. Then there is the one we call a temporary partnership. That one, the timeline, the time frame. Someone is saying, I scroll down. The time frame is known. And in our definition is here, we are saying a permanent partnership is a partnership formed to carry out business indefinitely. When we say indefinitely, it means there's no time limit. We can't even try to predict when will that partnership come to an end. Because even when you die, you members or partners die, well-established businesses will always continue because businesses tend to live a life beyond the owners or the people who initiated them. So the time of winding up a business is not disclosed at the time of starting the business. Remember, when you're going to form these businesses, like just as we are going to go through how they are formed, you realize that we have to state clearly from the beginning, are we operating this business permanently or it is a temporary one? If it is a temporary one, how long is it going to run? That's why we are saying with a temporary partnership is a partnership formed to operate for a specified period of time. And we are saying this form of partnership can also end on completion of a contract. When I come to issue of temporary partnerships, we have seen companies come on board to take on the construction, let's say, of a road. A company takes on construction of a road. They don't have enough funds to construct that particular road. Then they go to another construction company and they come together. They share the burden. One contributes money, another company also contributes money. They come together, they make that road so that when they pay them, they share the amount equally. And after that, the partnership comes to an end. Once they have finished the construction of the road, then it means there's nothing else bringing them together. That means such a contract was a permanent, rather was a temporary partnership. That's why we brought in an issue of this form of partnership can also come to an end as a result of completion of the contract. Today, your friends in classes where you sit, some of you, you have had your friends from senior 1, now to senior 2, senior 3. After senior 4, where the 4-year cycle ends, you realize that some people will go to different schools for A-level, others will go to institutions, etc., etc. It means you had a temporary partnership for the time you were together. In primary, you had a temporary partnership. There are people you started with from nursery up to P7. And once you ended primary level, you went to different secondary schools. That was a temporary partnership. So partnerships are of two kinds, either permanent or temporary. Let us look at, briefly go through characteristics of this partnership business. What are some of the features that define these partnership businesses? I want volunteers, you pick any point and then you explain. You pick any point and you explain the way you understand. We shall supplement on that. Okay, who is this one? Was again written in our class. Okay. I'm starting with the Ira. Ira, your hand is up. Okay. Kwagala, Daniela. Okay. Maria?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I would like to explain the first point.
Please go ahead.
Membership is between 2 to 20 members for non-professional partnerships and between 2 to 50 members for professional partnerships.
Yes.
So members between 2 to 20 members for non-professional partnerships. These non-professional partnerships include shops, wholesale shops, such. And then the one for professional partnerships include banks and those big businesses.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Any other? Any other person? I'm seeing Maria. Maria Tasha. Okay, Rahima, go ahead.
Point 5. Major decisions are made by the majority of the partners. For me, according to me, it is true
Yes.
that each partner has to agree. If they don't agree, they go in elections. They go in voting.
Okay. Thank you. So in the case of any disagreement, they go into voting so that the majority decision is taken up. Thank you so much. Any other?
Yes.
Any other? We have here, who else is having the hand up? Please just I'm seeing, just unmute yourself, Matthew. Matthew, go ahead. Okay. Okay. The people I'm
Okay, since the teacher's left, I'm going to share my screen and you can be copying the work.
Okay. My other gadget, sorry. My Wi-Fi jumped off and my laptop couldn't continue. I think it was hot and I'm trying to restart it here. For now, let me be using this phone and let the host be sharing the screen. Host, please, if I go off and share the screen, make sure you check the chat room because I joined sometime, but then you're not unmuting me. But also when I go off, in case of the network, we all understand what technology is all about. Please, you go ahead with the discussion as I join in. So I want you to scroll down. You scroll down. I want to check all sentences. We first complete those before. Okay. Okay. Please scroll up. Before we go on formation of a partnership, yes, okay, thank you. Now, I was talking about each partner has each partner has unlimited liability except in a limited partnership. Our talking of categories of partnerships, that there are people who come into partnership when they have limited liability, and there are those who have unlimited liability. When we talk of limited liability, it means should anything occur, should the business incur the debts, and then the business assets fail to compensate, or in case we dispose them, or in case we sell the assets, we fail to the debts, the creditors will go ahead and sell our personal property. That's what we mean by unlimited. So all this can be split at the time of forming a partnership. You indicate whether you are carrying on a partnership as unlimited one or a limited partnership. But most partnership businesses, especially in Uganda here, are unlimited. They operate like the way you see sole proprietorship. That should we fail to clear off the debts, they will come and sell our personal property in order to dispose of. And then partnerships operate under an agreement. Yes, since the business is being run with more than one person, we can't just operate it as a sole proprietorship, because with a sole proprietorship you are one. But now here, the fact that you are more than one person, there must be an agreement between the two, which we keep on referring. And that agreement is what we call a partnership deed or a partnership act. We are going to look at the agreement of partners during formation. As we go down there, we shall see what a partnership deed is all about. But the word deed means agreement. Then a partnership has no separate legal existence. The other time I talked about what separate legal existence means in this case. Please, those who are shouting in our class, can you pastor unmute yourself? So when we talk of a partnership, business has no separate legal existence, meaning they have unlimited liability. That's what I was trying to talk about previously. The other time I talked about joint stock companies as part of legal form of business ownership. I told you for the case of joint stock companies, they have what they call a separate legal existence. When you talk of separate legal existence, the owners are different from the business. If MTN cheats your airtime and you take them to court, it will be one of you, I'm using the word, let me say IRA. It will be IRA versus MTN Uganda. But if we have Joy Hardware and Joy Hardware cheats you, then it will be IRA versus Joy. So in this case, when IRA is versing MTN Uganda, it means MTN Uganda has a separate legal existence. We don't know the owner, but we are taking the business to court. But when it comes to partnerships, they take you an individual to court in a case of anything. So even if your business is called, let's say, Bugembe Hardware, but you, the owner, you are called Jordan, they will take you, Jordan, into court, not Bugembe Hardware, because your business has no separate legal existence. You and the business, you are the same. But with joint stock companies, the owner and the business are considered different. If something happens at the business, take the business to court and not an individual. Then major decisions are made by majority. So unlike in sole proprietorship where you are alone, for the case of
partnerships, decisions are made after consultations, and usually they go with majority. What majority decides is what we go with. So that's what separates them from this other form of business ownership. You don't take on decisions alone. The decision is agreed after a long consultation. And therefore, in advantages, we shall come to realize that few mistakes are made because the decision is go through a panel. Then management is carried out. Management is carried out by all partners in the case of ordinary partnership. So when you are forming ordinary partnership, almost everyone is a manager. It's like operating a school when you are 5 people. So we shall literally say this school is owned by 5 directors. So all of them are managers in their business in the case of an ordinary partnership. And then we are saying each partner is an agent of the firm, i.e. he or she is bound by the activities of the other. Take an example. If we own a school 5 people, then you get a truck, a school truck. One of the partner gets a school truck. While he's driving, knocks someone dead, unfortunately, and then the police take on that truck and they demand the business to pay or to compensate. Now, in this case, other 4 partners cannot say that, you see, it is not us who caused an accident. It is just one of the members. Therefore, let him or her compensate. That is not allowed. Anything that is caused by one of the members binds all of you. You are all held responsible. And any positivity, let's say we are owning a school and I happen to get some students somewhere, then I bring to a school. I can't say that, you see, members, for me this year only I brought 100 students. Therefore, when we are sharing this profit, consider the fact that me I brought many students, or you did not bring. In partnership, that is not allowed. The fact that you brought, we have all brought, whether you brought alone. So each member is an agent of the firm. You are a spokesperson of the firm. You are held responsible, etc., etc. Can you scroll down and you see? Okay. Formation of a partnership business. Come on the left-hand side a bit. Left-hand side. Okay. So we are now coming to formation of a partnership business. Remember, every business has to be formed. Like we said before, either you form it as one person or you form it as a group. And now the fact that you are forming a business as a group, which we are calling a partnership, there must be a process we follow. There must be a process we go through. Now, this form of business can be formed by, okay, Ira is having a question. Please allow her to ask her question in case. Okay. Okay. So this form of business can be formed by an agreement between the persons who have agreed to come together and run business. So there are very many ways in which we come into agreement. We can come into agreement through oral. We just talk. We sit on a round table and agree that why can't we start up a retail shop? Shall we? Yes. How much do we contribute? Let us contribute this, and this. That's oral one, oral agreement. But to avoid the future consequences, when you are forming a business under partnership, it is good to write down on paper. So that written agreement is what we are going to focus on in this case. So the agreement can be in writing or oral. Though putting it in writing is the most desired for future reference. Remember, if you put something on paper, it
can stay for a very long period of time and can create a very good reference in the future in case of any disagreement. When you use oral agreement, people change over time. You can generate profits, and one member of patterns and says, this business belongs to me only. So to avoid such things, it is good to write down. And that agreement you write down is what we are calling a partnership deed. So a deed means an act or an agreement. Another word means the same. Say a partnership agreement or a partnership deed. If you are operating a partnership business and then you write down on paper your agreement, then we shall call that agreement a partnership agreement or partnership deed. Therefore, in the definition, we shall say a partnership deed is an agreement between partners, laying down the terms and conditions under which the business shall be conducted. Simply, a partnership deed or agreement is just there to show us how shall we move on with our business. There are very many contents that are included in the partnership deed, as we are going to see. What are some of the things you include in your partnership deed or agreement when you are drafting it? What do you agree on? Can you please scroll down and let's see if there's a question? Those who have questions, you can still ask or you put them in the chat room. Okay. Thank you. So contents or clauses, contents or clauses of a partnership deed. What are the things that you include in a partnership agreement? We are saying the name of the business and its location. You have to tell us what is the name of the business, because there's no business you wake up to operate when you don't have its name. There must be a name. If it's a restaurant, maybe it's Mama XYZ restaurant, whichever the case. And then you give us the location. Where are you located? Maybe we are Chireka or whatever the case. But in your partnership agreement, make sure you indicate the name of the business and its location. Another content you shouldn't miss out when you are writing an agreement is the name and address of each partner. Remember, we are saying the people who are forming a partnership are called partners. Now, we have to know their names and also where they come from. That's why we are saying the name and address of each partner. You mention your name and where you come from, like that. Then within that very agreement, we have to also show the salary to active partner, if any. Are we going to get one of the members? Assume we are 10. We can't all be in this retail shop. Let us put only one, and the rest of us 9, we go and do other things. Now, the one we are putting in that particular business, are we going to give a salary? Because it's doing extra work. And now that we are going to pay salary, how much? That's why we are saying salary to active partner, if any. Then we also look at the duties and rights of each partner. When you talk of the duties and rights of each partner, we have to state clearly. Because in any business, especially when you're more than 2, you're around 5, 6, 7, we have to know who will be our chairperson, who will be our treasurer, who will be our secretary. We have to allocate all those duties. Who is responsible for, in case it is involving transport, logistics, who will be responsible for all the logistics in the company, etc. So the duties and rights of each partner have to be clearly stated. Procedures of retiring by any partner. In case one of the members wants to quit the partnership, what are the procedures that you follow when you are quitting a partnership business? Because there are some people, when they are retiring, they want to bring in another person. But in case you're bringing in another person, you have to be clear. How shall we do it? Shall that person pay a partnership as a whole, then we pay you? Or that person will pay you and then we just change the name for you go, and then we bring in this new name. So all that you have to state them during the time of writing the constitution. And the constitution of a partnership is what we are calling a partnership deed. If it was in a school where we have what they call school rules and regulations. Those are also their agreements between students and the school administration. So even here, they operate with what they call a partnership deed. Then interest payable to the loans of the firm by the partners in case we borrow the loan. How shall we pay the interest? Remember, when you borrow money from the bank, you can't take it exactly. That is only in Islamic banking. But for us, we have the interest rate here. Now, banks are meant to make profits also. And therefore, when you when you borrow the loan, you have on top to add on some money, which we call interest. So how shall we clear those loans plus the interest? And then procedure of settling any misunderstandings. We are human beings in a partnership. We are made, it is possible that at any moment in time, you can really have a grudge. But then, in case there's a grudge, how are you going to solve such grudges within the business? We have to clearly state them. Shall we go to police? Shall we call the meeting so that we resolve the issues? Shall we invite an external party to come in and settle us down? All that you have to indicate in a partnership agreement. Can you please proceed down? Okay. Let's also have the line of business. Which business are you dealing in? Is it a service business, business, or a great business? Line of business, you have to give us the type of business you are operating. And then amount of capital contributed by each partner, you have to list, because we may not all contribute equally. Some may be having much capital, others have less, but we want to bring it together. So if, for example, we are starting a business of 100 million and we are 5 people, we may find that one member only has 50 million, then another one has 10, another one has, meaning we can bring that money together, but then the one who contributed more, in the case of making profits, will be the one to take more profit. We establish a ratio or a percentage in which we share. That's why in mathematics, you percentage sharing. In that case, we have to look at those ratios and see who contributed what and therefore is taking which amount. Equally, when losses are made, the one who contributed okay. Sorry for that. We are talking about how to elect the management committee. So I was saying we may be 15 members, partners. We can't all be leaders. Maybe we only want 3, the chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. This means we shall have to establish the procedure. We put there the format in which we shall elect the management committee. Maybe we can base on education, we can base on amount of capital contributed, we can base on expertise, etc. And then we also look at how drawings shall be made. In case one member is withdrawing money from their business, how is it done? Do you consult others, or you just pick on the man and you report later? You just inform them that, you know what, I picked on the money. So you have to really be specific during the making of this agreement. And then procedure of dissolution of the business. Like I told you, all businesses are bound to have disagreements. A business owned by more than one person, at one point, you will crash. You will have a grudge on each other. But then if it is there, how will you? Okay, that was procedure of dissolution, of resolving conflicts. Now we are looking at procedure of dissolution. In case you want to bring your business to an end, for the case of temporary partnerships, of they reach a certain point where they have to be brought to an end. So how do you do it? Do you share? Remember, let's see dot services. It is responsible. I think they make roads here to the Chinese company. Assume they have government have contracted it with a 200-kilometer road, and they can't construct it alone. What they do, they can go and get another company. Then they do the work together. So when they complete the construction, they have to separate. But remember, there are things they bought together, like some bulldozers, some tractors. So what would be the procedure of sharing some of these things that we bought together? That's the procedure of dissolution of the business. To dissolve is to bring the business to an end. And then ratios of sharing profits and losses. How are you going to share profits and losses? Remember, in a business, the major aim is to make profits, but there's the unfortunate event where businesses are bound to make losses. In case losses occur, how are we going to share these losses so that we pay back? Like I've told you, we share according to ratios, according to how much capital you contributed. The more capital you contributed, the more loss you will incur. And in the case of profits, the more capital you contributed, in the more profits you will have to share. Then also look at the beginning and duration of the business. When are you beginning? When are you ending? So in the beginning and duration of the business, that's where you now indicate, is it a permanent partnership or it's a temporary one? In the case it is a temporary partnership, you're just working for a shorter period of time. When indicate you are starting when and you are ending when. We also look at preparation of books of accounts. Which type of book are you going to maintain? In case there are books, then which types of books are you going to maintain? Because different businesses maintain different books of accounts. Is it income statements, balance sheets, etc., etc. You have to really specify in this agreement, and this agreement is done before you start a business. You sit down, write down. So when you have started the business, you will keep on preparing this in case of to these particular things. And if there's a question before we proceed.
What advantages?
If not, I want, like I said before, disadvantages. One member can pick up a point and then you explain. You will unmute people who come up their hands so that they pick up a point and add on, because these are direct points. I'm seeing Ira's hand is up. Unmute. Ira, your hand is up.
Teacher, I'm going to read it, but I have just a small inquiry.
Okay, go ahead.
At my school, at the end of the term, they told us some small stuff about partnership business, and they also added on that there is also limited partnership and ordinary partnership.
Yes.
Limited partnership is a partnership where all members have limited liabilities except for the general partners. Then ordinary partnership is where all members have equal rights and responsibilities in a partnership. Thus, the liabilities of members in the partnership are limited.
Okay. Thank you, Ira, for supplementing. You see, what we are trying to talk about, the limited partnership and the ordinary partnership, I was referring them as categories of partnership. Though in some books they will call them types of partnerships. Under types of partnership, they'll talk about temporary, the permanent, general. Then we have the limited, we have the ordinary you're talking about, etc. But I remember to have talked about the limited partnership and the ordinary partnership as categories of partnership. However, they can also lie under the types of partnership. Thank you for supplementing. Then you can now
Well,
read through.
advantages of partnership business. More capital is raised than in sole trade due to the pooled resources from many members.
Okay.
Specialization. Shall I have to explain it?
Okay. You first read through and then we shall get people to pick on one point and explain.
Okay. Specialization is possible as each member takes up tasks for which he or she can do best. There is equal distribution of work among the members, hence less fatigue. The absence of one partner may not affect the business, unlike in sole proprietorship. The burden of losses and liabilities are shared among partners, unlike a sole trader who suffers alone. Formation is fairly simple because there are fewer legal formalities, unlike joint stock companies.
Okay. Thank you. Are you picking on one point to explain before you receive another member?
Yes.
And
I'll
before you explain, let me now read in this order. After you, we shall come to Peace. Peace, you get ready because your hand is up. And who else? I saw Crystal's hand was also okay. Nancy, your hand is up. We shall come to Melissa in that order. So go ahead and pick out one point and explain it.
I'll explain point number one. For more capital is raised than in sole trade due to the pooled resources from many members. According to my understanding, I understand point one, but that since in a partnership business, it is ranged from 2 to 20 people, so there are many resources like land, capital, and resources that are needed for the business to prosper. Unlike in sole trade, where the person has to get everything for the business because it's only one person, thus making it that more capital is raised in partnership businesses because there are many people, unlike in sole proprietorship where the person is only one.
Thank you. Very well explained. In that order, I said who else? Peace. The next. Thank you, Ira.
You're welcome, teacher.
Then now I'm going to Peace. Peace, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to explain point number 4. Yeah, teacher. Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Please
going to
go ahead.
explain.
Yes.
I'm going to explain point number 4.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, the absence of one partner may not affect the business unlike in the sole proprietorship. Yeah, this means like in business partnership, in partnership business, yeah, many people, like many owners of the business are there. So if one of them is absent in the business, it doesn't make the business stop going on. Like in sole proprietorship, if the
Very
person
good.
is not there, yeah, the
Very
business
well
is sold.
articulated. Thank you so much.
You're
I have
welcome.
nothing to add on that. In that order, we are now going to Ampere. Ampere. Okay. Ampere, unmute yourself.
Yes,
And
teacher.
from Ampere, I will
I'll
go to
explain the
Melissa.
third.
Okay.
I'll explain the third point. There is
Yeah.
equal distribution of work among the members, hence less fatigue. So, since there are many partners in partnership business, work is distributed among all of them. So this makes them less tired, since all of them get to do some work equally.
Okay. Thank you so much. You people, the way you are bringing out the explanations, they are just interesting. Thank you. I'm now coming to Melissa. Melissa, unmute yourself.
Formation is fairly, no, sorry.
Which point are you choosing?
Number 3.
Okay, go ahead.
There is equal distribution of work among the members, hence less fatigue. When there are more workers, even if the work is more, it can be distributed and finished very fast.
Okay. Thank you. Because members are more than one, they can easily distribute the work into to different people with different expertise. Okay, thank you. Any other hand up here? Let me see. Thank you, Melissa. Then let me check on. I'm seeing Crystal's microphone is on. Okay. Peace, your hand is up again. Peace, go ahead. Okay. Okay, now let me supplement on this. More capital, that one you have clearly stated it. Specialization is possible as each member takes on a task. Like we said, you shall study specialization, or you'll study specialization when it comes to the topic of production. In fact, immediately after legal forms of business ownership, your next topic in law is what they call production in business. Now, specialization is where an individual or a business concentrates on the production of a given commodity it can do best and leave the rest to others. Now, if we start up a partnership, we can come together when we have different skills. Take an example, if a teacher comes together with an accountant, a lawyer, a driver, they have combined all those different skills. Then it means when we are executing our business activities, everyone with a particular skill will be put in that specific department, and this will help worker to move on quickly. Unlike in sole proprietorship, where you are everywhere because you are one man army, you are everywhere, and it's a reason as why such businesses don't take off. They are stagnant in most cases. Then someone talked about equal distribution of work among the members. Yes, hence less fatigue. Yeah. In the case of too much work, in most cases, we distribute it. If you are 10, then you make sure every individual takes an activity so that we don't put a burden on one specific person. And then the absence of one partner may not affect the business. Someone talked about that. If for example, Melissa, you are not there, then Jordan can take on. Then the burden of losses and liabilities are shared among partners, unlike a solo trader who suffers alone. Now, with a partnership, in case losses have landed in the business, then all partners have to come together and share that burden. If it means paying back, then we all have to bring money so that we pay back. Unlike in solo proprietorship where you suffer alone, in case a loss has occurred, you will suffer alone. No one is there to help you. Then formation is fairly simple because there are few legal formalities, unlike joint stock companies. You see, sole proprietorships and partnerships, in most cases, we don't have very many legal formalities. When you talk of legal formalities, you will come to understand when you are studying another subtopic called formation of businesses. And in formation of businesses, it is still in this legal form of business ownership. We shall see how different businesses are formed using which documents or which procedures. Now, sole proprietorships and partnerships in most cases operate with a mere trading license or a certificate of trading, which is not the case with joint stock companies. Like we shall look at limited companies, or we call them joint stock companies. For them, you go through very many procedures. You will need a memorandum of association. You will need a director's list. You'll have to submit to the registrar what we call articles of association. Then they will issue you with a certificate of trading. They may, in case you are going to sell shares, they will require that you issue out what they call a prospectus to advertise for people to come and buy shares in your company. And then finally, they give you birth to a business. That is certificate of incorporation. So it's a long procedure when it comes to joint stock companies, which is not the case with these partnerships. Can we, the host, please, can we go down, scroll? So we have more other advantages here. If there are people who can still pick on a point and explain here, well and good. If not, we proceed. Okay. Ira, I see your hand is up.
Teacher, I read like how I read before.
Yes.
Okay. There is better combination of talents because of people with different skills who come together. Decisions made are expected to be good since issues are discussed by many people. New partners may be admitted to bring in more capital for the expansion of the business. There is limited liability in case of limited partnership. This means the business debts are limited to the capital contributed. Business books of accounts are kept secret, unlike public liability companies, which are mandated by law to publish their books of accounts to the general public. It is easier to borrow from financial institutions than for sole proprietorships because of the large collateral security.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I see, Peace, your hand is up. Are you explaining a point there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead.
Point 7. There is better combination of talent because people of different skills to come together. With different skills come together. Yeah, teacher, this one is like in business partnership, like different people have different talents. So let me say one has the talent of design and one has the talent of doing something else. So they bring their talents together and make up a product and make the business develop properly. Unlike in business proprietorship, only one person may have only one talent, which may not be able to like develop the business properly. Yeah.
Excellent submission. Thank you. Let me come. I will not add anything on that. You have perfectly done it. Crystal, your hand is up.
So I'm going to explain point number 8.
Then I will come to Asimwe in that order.
Okay,
please go ahead.
Decisions made are accepted to be good since issues are discussed by many members. Here, what I know that in partnership businesses, it is easier, like to make more profits because you have already discussed about the thing. But when you're in sole proprietorship, it's very hard because you can't know that this decision I've made, will it make the business to expand or will it make the business to go down? So it makes the business to expand. That's what I understood in that point.
Very good. I'm also not adding anything because you have done it well. Thank you so much. I come to Asimwe. Asimwe, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm explaining point 12.
Okay,
It is easier to borrow from financial institutions than for sole proprietorships because of the large collateral security. Here, what I understood that in this point is that in this partnership business, since there is more than one person managing the business, they will sum up their money so that they pay the debts which is being demanded by the financial institutions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. So it is easier to borrow from financial institutions than sole proprietorship because of large collateral security. When we talk of collateral security, it is something you put, the property you put before the bank gives you a loan. In fact, it is like a guarantee that should you fail to pay, then the bank has the capacity or has the permission to go ahead and sell that property. Now, in most cases, sole proprietorship lack that big collateral security. They lack a property to put there so that they can access money from the banks. After all, they are operating with less capital. Unlike these partnerships which operate with large capital and therefore the base for collateral security is big. The property they put there before they access a loan is in plenty, and therefore financial institutions like granting them loans so much. Thank you. Who else? Ira, you again? I'm seeing your hand up again. Other members, I see they are quiet. I think I should just select them randomly. Blessed, if you are in class, please tell us anything that you have understood in those points by unmuting yourself. Okay. Okay. You can still come back and give us another point if you can explain it, no problem. It's okay.
Teacher, I'll explain point number 9.
Yes.
New partners may be admitted to bring in more capital for the expansion of the business. Let us say if the business has 23 people, and let us say their business is compared to also another business that also has 23 people, and they see the other business that has 23, they are prospering better than the one also has 23. So the business that isn't prospering will want to get more partners who will bring in more capital to make the business expand, and it will grow higher than the one that is prospering but only has 23 people. Like they can add like 10 people and they become 33, and their business will prosper and it will expand due to the amount of capital the new partners are bringing into the business, and that's how the business will expand and it will prosper higher than the one that only has 23.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So new partners may be limited to bring in more capital, yes. Like if you see your capital is reducing and you need to expand, it is just a matter of saying, let us add on another member to bring in more money. If you are, in case you are 17, you can add on more 2 people to make 19 in number and they bring in money. Thank you. Also, who else is carrying up the hand? Okay. I told you that I'll be choosing people randomly even when they are quiet. David, are you on? David? Oh, some people set their phones and laptops and then they go to the other things. Okay. So I think the points remaining at point 10 and 11. There's in point 10 we have there is limited liability in case of limited partnership, and we are saying this means the business debts are limited to the capital contributed. So someone explained, I think it was Ira who explained about limited partnerships and ordinary partnership. Now, if you form a partnership but it is a limited partnership, meaning should a loss occur to the business, then we shall only stop at selling the business property, but I cannot go ahead to sell my personal property at home. Now, most partnerships, especially these limited partnerships, should losses occur, should they receive very many debts, should creditors surpass what they have, then they will be saved. They will only stop at selling the land, the assets of the business, etc., etc. But they won't go to the homes of these individual partners to sell their property. Why? Because the partnership deed indicated it clearly that the type of partnership is a limited partnership. We also talk about business books of accounts are kept secret. You see, sole proprietorships and partnerships don't publish their books of accounts. When we talk of books of accounts, we have the income statements, the likes of balance sheets. They don't expose them to the general public. In fact, it is a secret to them. But when it comes to these joint stock companies, the Airtel, the Coca-Cola, Pepsi, etc., the Nilo breweries, being that they are public limited companies, some of them, then they have to declare every profit or loss they made in a financial year to the general public. They have to expose all their books of accounts to the general public. And this, of course, it interferes with their secrecy. Remember, in business competition, one of the things that can put you at a competitive advantage is by hiding your business secrets from your competitors. Now, if you expose them and they know what you are earning, you are likely to be affected. So with the partnerships, they are safe with that. They don't usually share their secrets of the business pertaining to finances to the general public. It is only shared amongst the members. Let us proceed. I think the disadvantages. This time round, I'm selecting another member to read through. Asimwe?
Yes.
Okay. First, wait. Let me Katunji Victor. Since you are new now, you read through that work. Katunji Victor?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, please go ahead and read through.
Disadvantages of
prepare which point they will explain.
Disadvantages of partnership businesses. There is unlimited liability in case of ordinary partners. This implies the business debts may be settled using personal property. Decision-making is slow because partners have to consult each other before passing a resolution. Profits are shared, which reduces the amount received by each member. Also, problems of how to split the profits arises. Death, insanity, bankruptcy, and withdrawal of a key member may lead to a dissolution of a partnership. Disagreements or misunderstandings may come in, and this may slow down the progress of the business. A misconduct or mistake made by a partner affects the entire business. Chances of expansion are limited since members are restricted to 20 and 50 for professional firms. Profits generated by hardworking partners are shared by all, which discourages hard work. They have no separate existence from the owners. The owners can sue or be sued in the courts of law. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Are you
You're
picking
welcome.
on any points to explain in that regard?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Point
please.
number 8. Point number 8. Profits generated by hardworking partners are shared by all, which discourages hard work. So all of them, so there are partners who work very hard and can generate much income, and there are those ones who don't even care about what they are doing. So when
Bro, Katunji, your network has jumped off. Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you. I go now to Matthew, and from Matthew I will go to Harriet at Gmail, and then from there I will go to Melissa, then Rahima, in that order. Okay, I'm starting with Matthew. Matthew, please.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead and pick a point and explain. Or if you have any question, whichever.
Point 6.
Yes.
Misconduct. Mistake made by one partner affects the entire business. If one partner spends a lot of money, the whole business comes down.
Come again. Oh, Matthew, we have lost you.
If one partner uses the money
Oh, sorry. We can't hear you. Matthew, your network is not.
The whole business.
Unfortunate, Matthew. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Now I'm coming to Harriet. Harriet, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm picking point number 2. Decision making is slow because partners have to consult each other before passing a resolution. This is mainly because the partners mostly have different views about how to expand the business. So making it hard to expand the business.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Now, let me also pick on another person here. Melissa, your hand is up.
So I'm explaining number 6.
Okay.
a misconduct or mistake made by one partner affects the entire business, what I'm understanding from this is that when one person makes a mistake and like maybe if they do something that can make the business to lose, all of you, the whole business will be affected.
Exactly. Thank you. Do you have another point you are picking? Okay. Thank you, Melissa. You have all put it right. Who else has not said anything here? Matthew, your network was not clear, but in case you are back again, please, I give Matthew chance again. Matthew?
Yes, teacher.
Please go ahead if your network is clear now.
I'll explain. I'm explaining point number 5.
Okay.
Misunderstandings may come in, and this might slow down the progress business.
Misunderstandings may come in, and this may slow down the progress of the business. Yes. Now explain for us. Matthew?
When partners
Okay.
in a business have an argument going, they will not do the work.
Okay, Matthew, I've got your point. So the disagreements in a business will automatically they will slow down. Even if we go back to our school setting, if they have put you in groups in your classes, in case, let's say you're in a group of 5, and it so happens that 2 or 3 of you are in disagreement, you have got some wrangles between you. I don't think if they give you work together to do, you'll be able to submit in time, because you're not coordinating. So equally in partnerships, and remember this is a business, in the case of any wrangle or any grudge between partners, it is likely to slow the progress of the business, and this affects its expansion and equally lowers its profit margin. Thank you. Who else here? I'm coming back to, I want people who haven't said anything. I'm coming to Godly, and then Almai and Petty. Okay. Okay, Petty. Unmute yourself.
Hello?
Petty, please go ahead. We are able to hear you.
I'm going to take point number 4. Death,
Okay.
uncertainty, bankruptcy, or withdrawal of a key partner may lead to dissolution of partnership. So I'm going to give an example of having a business like a laundry business, and like you're partnering with someone who's working in the business. Now, let's say the person is tired of working and wants to leave the business. It may be a disturbance because you may take time to get someone else to work in the business, and you yourself may be busy doing other things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. But the only thing I want to supplement is that remember the other person who was working there is also part of the owners. Now, if that key person leaves the business, though is part of the owner, is a part of the partner, then these other dormant partners may not be able to run the business, and the ultimate end will be to close it. There's a primary school I know which had 3 directors, and 2 of them were engineers. They were engineers. They were not well conversant with things of education. And this particular one was a teacher. When he died, these engineers failed to proceed with the school. In fact, it only ran for 3 years and the school collapsed. So that informs you that if one of the key members quits the business, then you are most likely to be affected. Okay. I think we have a few points here. If not, when we check our time, we have around 4 minutes to come to the end of the session. Please, can we proceed down? Okay. I want, let me pick here one volunteer who has not said anything to read through that. Okay. I want a new member who has not said anything. I'm having Peace was complaining how I'm not selecting. Peace, you will give us a closing prayer. Let me select Given. Arumai. If you are given, please unmute yourself. Oh. Okay, she has been. Okay. Joy?
Teacher, should I read?
Yes? Okay, go ahead.
Teacher, should I read? Alvin has accumulated enough saving to start a business. He approached his friends on the choice of business. He is still not sure of the type of business to start. One friend is advising her to be a sole trader, while another one is also insisting on being in partnership. Task: which business type should Alvin do and why?
Okay. So that's our trial activity. That's our trial activity. Is there anyone to guide us on the approach as we end our session? Let me choose another person here to guide on. Karen? Karen? Okay. Okay. The people I'm giving chance, I think they are not unmuting themselves. So Matthew, your hand is up. Are you giving us the approach? If not, Crystal, you can still go ahead and give us the approach.
Yes.
Teacher, for me, I think,
Yes.
I think Alvin should open up maybe a sole proprietorship business, because he's the one who collected the savings by himself. No one helped him to start, to save that money he had. So for me, I think he should start up a sole proprietorship business.
So you think you should start up a sole proprietorship business? Okay, thank you. But then the question was, which type of business should Alvin do and why? So how will you attempt that? Why? What will you give in this regard? It's good you have selected sole proprietorship. What will you then give as reasons? Definitely the benefits or advantages of that particular legal form of ownership. So if you select partnership, then you give us the benefits of partnership. If you select sole proprietorship, then you give us the benefits of sole proprietorship business. I want to thank you so much for sparing your time to attend this lesson from the time we started up to to this very moment. I want to thank the host also, who has really stood in when my Wi-Fi had issues. Thank you so much. You have perfectly done it. I want to get a volunteer to give us a closing prayer, and then the host will close up their session. Any volunteer to give us a closing prayer? Peace this time around.
Let's humble ourselves for a prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I want to come before you and thank you for this lesson. I want to thank you for making us understand. I want to thank you for everything we have learned, Father. Enable us to keep it in us, Father, until we go back to school, Lord. I want you to go and protect each and every one of us who have been attending this meeting. I pray this believing in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Please, the host end the session.